A pleasant good afternoon to everyone. We, Sheila Balilay, Queny Arca, Rivera, Rosamay Salaver, and Consuelo R. Vailoces are the Group 1. And we are now ready to present the activities that Ma'am Rose Patingdas Ranara asked us to do as part of our requirements here in Child Ed 201. The first task, collage making.
Good afternoon everyone, I am Sheila P. Balilay. Before I explain the connections of emotions, knowledge, and constructivism, I am going to define first the meaning of emotions, knowledge, and constructivism. First, when we talk about emotions, this is a reaction pattern of our feelings and moods if we are happy, sad, anger, excited, and etc. Second, knowledge is based with our understanding, skills, and all the learnings that we get from our own experiences, and also the information that we gain from the subjects and lessons. Third, constructivism, teacher only facilitate the learners, assist them, and encourage the learners to interact learning process inside the classroom. The emotions, knowledge, and constructivism are connected with each other because through emotions, the child show their feelings and sign also of their behavioral responses of what they have learned. Then, knowledge is the facts and information that we acquired through our situational experiences and practical understanding of our feelings. Then, constructivism is the output and result of all the knowledge and understanding that we have shared from others. The thoughts and ideas that we have learned from others is construct into a new knowledge and learning. Even the feelings and our experiences also will turn and construct a new learnings and knowledge. That's all my explanations, and thank you for listening.
Good afternoon, everyone. Emotions, knowledge, and constructivism are interrelated with each other, since emotion is the starter pack of all. A child must be ready by observing his or her positive or negative attitudes through emotions, which can reflect how he or she can adapt on new ideas, or on how ready he or she is in discovering new ideas. Knowledge are learning that is being inculcated and stored to either strengthen or weaken your previous knowledge, and constructivism allows a child to create new meanings through the use of previous knowledge, whether it is done individually or by groupings. As you can see, the arrows can be used vice versa, wherein emotions set up the vibe of the learners that can lead them to participate actively on constructing new meanings through discovery, whether it is done individually or by groupings. Then there creates a strengthened knowledge that can be used even in the future references. Once again, good afternoon. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I am Richelle Rivera presenting to you my collage in terms of the connection of emotions, knowledge, and constructivism. For us to have idea about the emotion, knowledge, and constructivism, I am going to give you the short definition of each term. So first is emotion. This is a natural instinctive state of mind deriving from one's circumstances, mood, or relationship with others. So means emotions are controlled as you observe in preschoolers or even in adults. So it depends on the stimuli, or this is our response to the knowledge. So emotions are associated with bodily reactions that are activated through neurotransmitters and hormones released by the brain, while feelings are the conscious experience of emotional reaction. So since we are confused about the term emotions and feelings, so for us to understand between the two, I already mentioned to you the difference of the two. So next is we have here the knowledge. The second term is knowledge, is the fact, information, and skills acquired by person through experience or education. So it means knowledge is equals to is equal to experience. So knowledge is our experience, or we already know. So as Teacher Joyce already mentioned the types of knowledge, so I searched about the 3 core types of knowledge. So first is we have the explicit, which these are the information that we documented. Implicit is these are the information that we applied, and tacit is these are the information that we understood. So knowledge is a general term for our prior or meta and present knowledge and to the present knowledge. So the connection of the emotions and knowledge is that we react to the stimuli that we stand or our experience due to unnecessary stimuli. So hence, emotions and knowledge are interconnected to each other. The third term is constructivism. So we communicate with each other and share our understanding, our feelings, our knowledge and experience to come up with new knowledge. So it means constructivism is the result of our emotion and our knowledge, because we are come up with a new knowledge. So we are reflecting on our experiences. We construct our own understanding of the world we live. So we, or even preschoolers or even learners, we build knowledge from what we already know. So as I mentioned, constructivism is a new knowledge. So that's why that is the interconnectedness of the knowledge and constructivism. So constructivism tells us that constructivism goes back to emotion, because constructivism is a new knowledge. So since this is a new knowledge, so we are making emotions. So that's why, as you can see in my collage, it is a cycle. So that is the interconnectedness of our emotion, the knowledge, and the constructivism. Once again, thank you for listening.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Rosamay Salaver. This is my interpretation in connecting emotion, knowledge, and constructivism. As you can see, I have divided the page into 3 columns. In the first column, you can see that we are showing positive emotion. The children, as well as me, the teacher, are happy. The teacher should be happy too, because it will reflect in the classroom atmosphere. If the teacher is happy, most probably the children will be happy too. Dili ta sige kasuko kay ang mga bata mahadlok og mawad-an og gana, and they will lose interest in the classroom activities. The second column is knowledge. If the atmosphere in the classroom is conducive for learning, the children will be interested and learning will take place. You can see in the pictures that children are reading books, learning numbers and vocabulary. Eventually, they will learn, understand, and know things which will be stored in their brain and become knowledge. And if this happens, the children can now say, I know. The third column is constructivism. After gaining knowledge, the children are able to do things on their own. As you can see in the pictures, children are doing an activity by group and on their own. I include the picture of kids doing things in group because I believe by working with others, ideas and creativity will come up. This way, children will be more productive. By knowing things, children can create something, just like what is shown in the pictures. The girl can already arrange the numbers in order. From the Valentine's vocabulary in knowledge column, the boy is showing or drawing a heart for his Valentine's Day card. The other boy is connecting pieces of objects to create or assemble the letter Y. Constructivism happens if the pupils can say, I can. In conclusion, emotion, knowledge, and constructivism are interrelated. If emotion is positive, learning takes place. And if there is learning, there will be knowledge. And if there is knowledge, there is constructivism, or new knowledge will come up.
Here is my collage. Connection. The question is, what is the connection of brain to emotions and to classroom instruction? Now, under the brain, I have the ideas, and these ideas What are the connection of these ideas to the feelings of a child and to its action inside the classroom? Now, under the brain or the ideas, these are the ideas that I want to be instilled in the young mind of a child. It should be the polite expressions like saying hi, hello, good afternoon, good morning, thank you, you're welcome, like that. And good values like friendly, generous, prayerful, loving, respectful, a good listener to elders, parents, to teacher, and a soft-spoken one. Now, if these all ideas will be instilled in the mind of a child, expect that the feelings shown by the child would be a happy one, very excited in all the things that she is doing, very cheerful, and very friendly, and then very bubbly and optimistic and enthusiastic in all that he or she is doing. And this child, if this child will be inside the classroom, a teacher would expect also that this child is a friendly person. All of his classmates are his or her friends and very participative, very sports. When we say sports, she or he may win or lose in classroom competition. It's fine. She would be happy. A team player also. And this child will function as what is expected from her or him by the teacher. Now, the connection is, if what is instilled in the brain, it's shown in the emotions and in the action. And it is vice versa. If also not good ideas will be instilled in the mind of a child, the emotion will also be negative and the action will also be negative. So, me personally, I want that all the parents would do this one. Instill all those things, good ideas in the mind of a child, because this is the best thing that we should do. Multiple intelligences.
Which of these intelligences are you best at? Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rosamay. Among the multiple intelligences of Howard Gardner, my best intelligence is interpersonal intelligence. Interpersonal intelligence because I possess the characteristics of a person that has this intelligence. I work well with others. I am a good communicator, verbal or nonverbal. Nonverbal because in my workplace there is a big language barrier, but still I can express myself and people around me, especially my students, can understand me. Action lang. I also enjoy being around with others. I am good in problem solving. I have this ability to note distinctions among others. I can also sense the moods and temperaments of people around me. In short, I have the ability to interact with others, or I can say I am people smart. People who have interpersonal intelligence are sometimes called people smart because we have the ability to read people. This unique ability helps us to understand what goes around us.
I am a combination of visual spatial intelligences, verbal intelligences, bodily kinesthetic intelligences, and intra and interpersonal intelligences.
I can say that those 9 intelligences, I am best at interpersonal intelligences because I can understand my everyday life, my thoughts, feelings, and emotions.
So as I observe, since I'm teaching 3 years in St. Alexius College, I am a combination of musical and bodily kinesthetic. So musical means discerning sounds, their pitch, tone, rhythm, and timbre. While bodily kinesthetic, it is the capacity to manipulate objects and use a variety of physical skills.
For the question number 1, I am a combination of verbal linguistic, logical but not mathematical, interpersonal and intrapersonal intelligences.
How can you make use of your best intelligence to engage your pupils in class activities and discussions? I can use my interpersonal intelligence to represent the learning insights I gained from Childhood 201 by sharing and incorporating all the lessons I learned into my classroom. I can use this intelligence to engage my pupils in class activities and discussions by assessing first or just like a doctor diagnosing first the mood and temperaments of my pupils. Example, if my class are matamlay or sleepy or noisy or no interest at all, I will divert first their attention by singing, telling stories, or exercising. Lingaw-lingawon sa nako sila until I get their full attention.
So I see to it that the mentioned combination intelligences are being shared to my learners, such as preparing learning materials and class activities aligned to the different multiple intelligences of my learners. If I observed that they are not in the mood to participate in my class, like for example, familiarizing multiplication tables, I use bodily kinetic as a strategy. I let them move around and move their bodies while reciting the multiplication table. It's either they dance or they do some actions using their bodies or parts of their bodies. While visual spatial, I see to it that my activities or the visual aids I use are eye-catchy and being appreciated by my learners. On verbal side, I see to it that my learners clearly understand what I am talking and sharing with them. I don't like more flowery words in order to inculcate new ideas. I don't want to complicate their understanding by giving tons of words that sometimes they are not necessary and they only need a brief but straight to the point key ideas. I use intra and interpersonal intelligences to understand how they behave in my class and what's the reason of how they behave and how do I respond with them.
I can make and use my best intelligences to engage my pupils in class activities and discussions is by sharing my ideas and thoughts to my pupils. Know the different intelligences of my pupils so that I have an idea on what is the strength and weaknesses of my pupils. Involve them in such activities inside the classroom like playing, modeling, and group activities. Then, about the discussions, give them situational topics from specific to general, like for example, from the class officers inside the classroom down to municipality, then the province, and lastly to the national officers so that they can relate and understand.
My answer in question number 1 is a combination of musical and bodily kinesthetic. So I am going to use these two intelligences in terms of, before our lesson, I am going to use our musical. So musical is, this is the cue which children knows that we are transitioning into another subject or another activities. While bodily kinesthetic, I am going to use this one in terms of our activity that we are going to use our body. So since I'm teaching preschool, so we are not allowed to sit down only just to lecture, but we are going to use the music and bodily kinesthetic for us or for them to engage during our discussion. So that's why that's how I am going to present my lesson, and it will engage them during our discussion.
Since I am a verbal person, I see to it that in my classroom, I really explained all the lessons that I have to my class in the simplest way that everybody can learn, that everybody can understand, because I want them to learn something after our class. I am also a logical. Now, I am fond of asking the questions how and why. So, when we are talking of a certain topic and I start to say a question to them, all of them will have a chance. I really give them a chance to answer a question, and that question is usually a how and a why. I want to hear from them how they explain, how they reason out of their answers, because I just want them to think critically. And I am also an interpersonal and intrapersonal. So in the classroom, I am fond of giving them groupings, group activities and individual work, because in groupings, we learn the cooperative way of learning. They can gain friends. They learn something from their colleagues, and they will be developed that sportsmanship. And also individual work, because that's part. We really have to have an individual activity, because in life, there is really things or time that we have to have on our own. Just like taking the board exam, that's individual. So I also train them to be like that.
How can you make use of your best intelligence to represent the learning insights you gained from Child Ed 201? I have noticed that most of the lessons we have in these subjects are present and already implemented in the classroom. Unaware, I used most of the theories of the important people we have discussed. So from the knowledge I have learned from this subject and with my interpersonal intelligence, I will see to it that I will be more effective and efficient teacher to my students. I will give an activity that is suited to their interest, a group work maybe, so they can collaborate and work with each other. I will use my judgment and knowledge of who works well together in organizing their group. I will allow them to work with their friends. This way, they will enjoy working together and maybe they will be more productive.
So since I'm visual spatial and mostly verbal, I created an artwork which is a shades of different deep colors with a plant inside of a light bulb, in wherein Ma'am Ranara, with the collaborative effort of each of one of us, being able to shade our bank of learning refreshed into a new and developed one from an about to fade colors of learning into a more colorful and meaningful learnings. I am able to listen, speak, share, reflect, and experience based from the shared insights all throughout our journey in Child Ed 201. Thank you, Ma'am Ranara, for refreshing us with vibrant and deep colors. May you be able to shade more colors to those persons who strives hard to learn and relearn what they have already had from previous education's journey. Thank you and God bless.
I can make and use my best intelligences to represent all the learning insights that I gained from the Child Ed 201 subject is to make it as my references and source. I use it as my guide when I am teaching to my pupils. All the learnings that I learned from these subjects, I am going to share and apply it in my pupils inside the classroom. I know that all learnings that I am going to share them will help my pupils to improve their skills and abilities as a student and as a person.
So if I'm given a chance, I will make use my best intelligences to represent my learning insights through music. So first, I am going to make a lyrics, and then I'm going to imitate such song from a nursery rhyme so that I can have a song to represent my learning insights. And then I will make use my bodily kinesthetics. So since I have already my music, so I will make a step so that I will use my bodily kinesthetic of my body to have an action, so that the music or the musical and the bodily kinesthetic will join as one.
In number 3 question, here is my answer. I made I don't know, it's a poem, but it doesn't look like a poem. So I'm going to read this one lang, Ma'am Rose. So my poem goes this way. Thank you. Thank you for letting me master these 5 words. The listen, the think, the reflect, reminisce, and write. To Ma'am Rosabelia Patindas Ranara, thank you so much for being a cool professor to all of us. For letting us always write our learning sheets in every topic that is being presented and discussed. Thank you, Ma'am. For all the inputs you've added in every presentation or report that has been made. Thank you so much, Ma'am. For challenging us always on how can we apply those things in our daily classroom life. Thank you, Ma'am. Which made us all listen, think, reflect, reminisce, and write. These 5 words is my learning insight in Child Ed 201. And I'm very proud to say that I master this one. I really master these 5 words. The listen, the think, the reflect, the reminisce, and then write. Thank you so much, Ma'am Rose, for all of this. God bless.